Lecture 12, Finding and Applying for a Job. It all starts with the search. There are many online listservs that can be filtered to search for specific types of jobs within a particular area. Beyond, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Next, iHire, Commercial Art are online services that notify you when a job comes available based upon the filters you set up with them. Craigslist and other classified ad-like sites are also places to look for jobs in any given area. Employers want their posted jobs to be seen, and you want to find a job, so it's not hard to get information on new jobs if you utilize a few of the methods described above. In this lecture, we're going to look at what the steps are towards getting a job once you have found one that you would like to apply for. It all starts with research. Do your research. Once you have found a job that you want to apply for, it's best to find out more about the job and the company before you begin the application process. Knowing what a company does, what kind of mission and values they have, can really help you to attune your resume and portfolio, or cover letter, more on that in a moment, to the job. Your portfolio will often be customized for each application to better fit the individual job you are applying for. And then there's the process of applying for the job. Depending upon the type of graphic design job, employers typically ask for a resume and a digital portfolio, either in PDF form or as a link to a site that will show them examples of your work, to be considered for a position. Larger institutions or companies will often have you go online to apply, attaching the necessary documents for consideration in the online application process. Sometimes a cover letter will be required, and we will go over that next as we look at the process for getting hired step by step. The cover letter. A more formal job application may ask you to provide a cover letter explaining why you feel that you should be considered for the job. This should be short, typically no longer than 1 page, and address the job as advertised and how your skill set might make you a good candidate for it. My advice is to be honest about any deficiency in experience you may feel that you have if you are just starting out. If you don't have the experience yet, let them know that you would be eager to work for them and gain more experience, and that you are a good learner. If a company likes what they see in someone who is newer to the field and think that they are trainable, they may decide that they can train that person in their own way of doing things more easily than they might for someone who has already established their habits of work. Thus, a company may decide to hire the newer candidate and give them the training they need to bring them into the fold. The portfolio presentation. As stated in the prior lecture, you may need to customize your portfolio for each job that you are applying for. The order that things are presented can make a difference, and things pertinent to the business or organization that you may be applying to should be shown more towards the front, etc. And then there's the process of interviewing itself. Interviewing skills are good to have. The best short advice I can give is, once again, to just be honest about your skill set and experience and emphasize how much you would like to learn more and how much working for their company would mean to you. If a prospective employer can see a person as honest, easy to work with, accepting of critique and wanting to learn more and do a good job, then they just might invest in them, whether they are new to the field or not. And I always tell students, remember they are hiring a person. Companies do care about your skill set and experience, but ultimately they are looking for the right person to add to their team. So they may ask you to tell them a bit about yourself. Be prepared to answer some amount of personal questions alongside questions about your professional skills, experience, and habits. The above is also why I have my students create a small section at the end of their resume that tells a little something about themselves. Students have reported that something stated in that small section of their resume ended up being discussed at some length in an interview. So you like model trains, huh? You know, my uncle had a big train set in his basement when I was growing up, and a conversation has begun. And lastly, I'd like to talk just a little bit about appearance. A person can choose to embrace or ignore any of the following advice on appearance in the workplace as they see fit. Conventions about what is professional or appropriate attire or appearance in the workplace are often individual opinions, and these ideas are always in a state of flux at the larger social level as well. I would advise that someone use common sense about dress and hygiene, including whether or not to shave, be groomed in any particular way, etc., based upon what they know about the culture of any given work environment. I would also advise someone to do research into each company that they may be applying to understand the particular culture of that firm as best as they can. This is both to find out if they would want to work there or not, and also to understand if there is any culture of personal appearance in the company's workplace, and how they might want to respond to that or not, at least for the interview. However, each person will decide for themselves how much they want to alter their appearance or conform to certain standards in order to gain employment in the field or work for any particular company. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that this has given you some idea of what the application process is like for getting hired in the field of graphic design. Please go to week 4 in Moodle and take quiz number 12 when you can. See you next week.